Hello everybody and welcome to the Einstein Marketing overview video. We basically wanted to create a real quick video here to kind of take you behind the scenes and show you the Einstein Marketing Administration panel, which is what you see on the screen now, as well as demonstrate the process through which resellers fulfill orders through the platform. It's all API driven. It makes it easy for everyone. We've tried to incorporate as much automation into this system as possible. And we actually, just to give you a bit of history on this, we're actually an established website development company out of Orlando, Florida, and we developed Einstein Marketing for our own internal use. We're going to launch this as a business, but never got around to doing so. We've got tied up with other projects. We've kind of shifted gears, and we're focusing more on mobile app development now. So we're offloading a handful of our pet projects and businesses and stuff like that we're not going to find the time to launch anytime soon. So we thought we would go ahead and sell Einstein Marketing here on eBay. So if you are eager to start an online business, this is a great opportunity. If you're unfamiliar with the targeted traffic or / internet marketing industry, I encourage you to research it further. It is very, very lucrative. We've done extensive research on it prior to actually making the decision to build this. So it is very profitable. And we've put a lot of work into this, numerous hours. If we were to quote this out to a client, it would be anywhere between $25,000 to $30,000 worth of work. So you're getting a heck of a deal. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take you behind the scenes here, show you what this thing's capable of doing. And if you have any questions after watching the video, please feel free to contact us here through eBay. We'd be more than happy to address your questions or concerns. So what you see on the screen right now, this is the administration panel. And basically, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit here. What you see here, these are basically your transactions. Okay, so whenever someone places an order through Einstein Marketing, the order will be displayed here as a transaction, or if a reseller fulfills an order through the platform, you will also see the transaction here. And a transaction can have multiple orders underneath it. Okay, so just to give you an idea how that works. So let's say a reseller has 10, 15, 20 orders on their website that they need to fulfill with you. All they need to do is click on a button in their admin panel. It imports all those orders into your system under a transaction ID. They pay the total wholesale amount that is due, that is payable to you, and then you fulfill those orders with your vendors. And we have numerous vendors that are plugged into this, some of the orders you can fulfill simply by clicking on a button. Whereas others, you actually have to go to the vendor's website, fill out some information and that kind of thing. So, but we've already done all the homework for you. We've done a lot of research on it. We've found the best pricing possible for all of the products that are offered. And basically, we offer more than 150 different products on the site. So there's plenty to choose from. The reason that you see einsteinmarketing.net listed here as a reseller is because instead of building two separate platforms, basically one to handle all of the orders placed through Einstein Marketing and another to handle orders placed via or from your resellers, we decided just to create one system, and we made Einstein Marketing a reseller to itself. I hope that makes sense. It's just for simplicity and for ease of management. Basically, you can manage everything from one place, regardless of whether the order originated from Einstein Marketing or from one of your resellers. So that's why you see that here. You have your transaction ID column, you have the total amount that was paid, and the date and time of the transaction. The reason the total amount here is showing 0, and well, the whole reason for this transaction here even existing in the first place, this is something that we did ahead of time. We just created an order. Basically, it's an order for a reseller website that we had placed through Einstein Marketing, so that we could demonstrate the process of fulfilling orders from a reseller website. In fact, if I click on a reseller website here, you'll see that this is the original order that we placed. Boxer.myonlinemarketing.biz, the account number, Boxer theme, etc., etc. And this is just a generic reseller account that, we put it under John Doe. If I click on that, you can drill down further. You can see John Doe at Gmail, generic phone number, generic street address, and so forth. So it's just a generic account that we created just for the purpose of actually demonstrating the order fulfillment process from the reseller website. So this is basically your transactions page. This is where you'll see all of your transactions. You can do searches by transaction ID, reseller order ID. You can click on this drop down, narrow the orders down by the reseller's website domain name, which in this case we have boxer.myonlinemarketing.biz. And while we're talking about myonlinemarketing.biz, this is basically where all of the reseller websites are hosted at. And they are included in the auction. The reason we put them on a separate domain is because we had intended on enabling others to resell the reseller websites on our behalf, and we didn't want to, rather than use an affiliate program where we're just sending traffic to Einstein Marketing, where we have these reseller websites priced at $499. We wanted to have a separate site where it wasn't branded with Einstein Marketing at all, so that other people could promote it, and basically they could sell one. We could create a purchase order number where it says reseller PO numbers. We're going to create purchase order numbers on behalf of whomever created the sale, and that basically that would enable others to resell the reseller websites for more money and not be aware of us actually selling the products on our site for only $4.99. So it's kind of something that we had planned, so you can use it for that purpose if you wish. We're actually just going to transfer that hosting account and the hosting account that Einstein Marketing resides on. We're going to transfer all those hosting accounts into your name as well as, and that way you'll have the FTP information to download everything and basically just hand you the keys to everything. That will enable the transaction to be a lot smoother. We don't have to worry about transferring files and databases and all that stuff. If you wish to transfer stuff to another hosting company later on, by all means, let us know. We'll be happy to help you out with that. But because of the amount of data that we have on that myonlinemarketing.biz, all those 20 different reseller websites, it's extensive. It'll take a couple days at least just to transfer that data. So it is a pretty major migration. We have the reseller sites priced at $499. That's about half the cost of what some of the competitors are actually selling a similar product for. We've done a lot of research on that, and we found that most companies in this arena are selling the reseller websites for around $1,000. So $499, that is a pretty good deal. You should be able to sell plenty of reseller websites at that price. So moving right along, this is the transactions page. I'm going to drill down here to customers. Here you can see the generic customer info, John Doe. Total sales is $0. You can click on view orders, which will essentially log you into the customer's control panel. So basically, as the customer, John Doe, he would log into the control panel at Einstein Marketing, and then he would be able to see his order history, everything that he's purchased here. He can manage all of his products, US Facebook fans, backlinks, anything that he has purchased, he can manage from within the control panel. Going back to the admin, let's jump down to resellers. You will see John Doe also listed as a reseller. The reason for that is once they create an account, whether they buy a product through Einstein Marketing or whether they sign up as a reseller, they are essentially both. Well, let me take that. I'll take that back for a second. If they sign up as a reseller, they're also a customer, so they can then go into the store. They can buy any of the products or services that are offered through Einstein Marketing. If they only buy a product through Einstein Marketing, they are not a reseller. So if they buy a reseller website through Einstein Marketing, then they are both a reseller and a customer of Einstein Marketing. But if they only buy a product through Einstein Marketing, then of course they are just a customer and they're not a reseller. That's why you see John Doe listed as a customer and also as a reseller. Total sales showing $0. That's just because we basically just created a reseller purchase order number, which I'll cover here in a second. I set the sale price to 0, and I just went through the checkout process when creating the profile for John Doe, because as I said before, this is just for demonstration purposes. There was no monetary transaction or checkout or anything like that. This is just creating an account so we can demonstrate how everything works. So anyways, here's your profile for the reseller John Doe. Whenever somebody signs up as a reseller, they get an account number. This is very important because this is also tied into the reseller website. The API uses this for authenticating the API calls that originate from the reseller's website. Clicking on it, you can drill down, and again, it brings you to the profile information for the reseller. And here you can see there's some additional information here that was not available on the customer profile. Okay, so you've got stuff like the domain capture, domain override. This is essentially like whenever you sell a reseller website, that person may or may not know what domain that they want to put the reseller website on yet. So basically the way it works is once they decide what that domain is later on at another date, and the website is set up on that domain, the minute that they actually fulfill their first order with you, it'll actually capture the domain name so that you know what their domain name is going forward. Or alternatively, you can actually just hard code it in here in the domain override field, and it will actually override the domain capture field every time. And the reason that that's important is because of the API communication, the system has to communicate back to the reseller website to flag orders as paid and push updates out to their system and that stuff. So it's very important to know the domain name that the reseller has set up the website on for communication purposes. And by the way, that is also totally outsourced. We have a vendor that that'll set up the reseller websites for you on your reseller's domain names. It's like $20, and so you don't need to be a programmer or a web developer or anything like that in order to run this business. It's very, very automated. Everything is outsourced, and so you don't have to set up the reseller websites or anything like that. All you have to do is promote the business and generate sales. So scrolling on further down, you can see this is the rate card. This is basically tells you what the pricing is, what that you've actually defined for this reseller, and you can see what your cost is on it. This is your cost as the provider of these services, and what your profit margin is. So you've got 3 columns. You have the price that you're charging the reseller, the cost, which is your cost, is what you have to pay to the vendor, because as I said, everything is outsourced, and then the difference between the price and cost is your profit. So that's how much money you're making. Scrolling further on down, you can see we have all of the 150 different products that you see here, which is quite extensive. Okay, so here you have an option to log in to the control panel, which I just previously showed you. You can make changes to any of the pricing and click on update here, and it'll update it for you. So for example, if you have a particular reseller that you want to give a better traffic rate to, you can change that here. I'm currently charging $3.68 per million. Okay, or per thousand, I'm sorry, $3.68 per thousand visitors. But if you had somebody that you wanted to put on a special plan, you could change this to $3 even or whatever. Obviously that would affect your profit margins, but you're more than welcome to change the pricing for any of this stuff. If you have vendors that you can outsource some stuff to, where your cost on these different products and services is better than what you see here, by all means start outsourcing this stuff to your own vendors, and you can adjust the pricing accordingly in here. So that's basically how the reseller's profile works. And I'm going to go down to the reseller PO numbers. I'll show you how this works. Here you can see the PO number that I had previously created. I put a bill amount of $0. This is basically what I used to create the generic profile for the reseller. As you can see, it generates a new PO number automatically every time you load this page. And what this does is, like, let's say, as I told you, I priced the reseller websites for $499. Let's say I wanted to sell one to somebody for $299. I could type $299 and I can put a note in here for for Steve or whatever. Click on create PO number, and then I can give this PO number to Steve. I can shoot it to him via email or whatever, and when he goes through the checkout process, he'll only have to pay $299 instead of the normal $499. So it's kind of like a coupon code more than anything else. And then of course you can delete these, you can change the pricing or whatever. So that's basically what the reseller PO numbers are. It's basically just like a coupon code, but it can only be used for the sale of reseller websites. It cannot be used as a coupon code through the checkout. You can create coupon codes. That's the page that I'm on now. You can actually type in a coupon code up here. You've got a couple different options. Percentage off. You can do 10% off, and you can narrow that down to a specific product. If you just want to do a dollar amount off, you can do that. Let's just say $100 off of the the business value pack. Whatever you want to do there, you can create different coupon codes. The fulfillment monitor, this is very important. This is basically where you'll see orders come in, obviously, to your transactions. But the fulfillment monitor gives you a bird's eye view of anything that needs to be fulfilled. Okay, so and this is changing all the time. Okay, so let me give you an example of how this works. Let's say, for example, a reseller fulfills an order with you for 2,500 targeted visitors. Okay, now you're going to see that in here, but the action column will be red, which is an indicator that it says waiting on customer right here. Basically is an indicator that the customer has not yet launched that targeted traffic campaign. So you don't, there's nothing for you to do. For any orders in here that are red, you don't have to do anything with them. You only have to fulfill the orders that are not in this, waiting on customer status. And the targeted traffic campaigns, by the way, fulfill themselves. That's fully automated. You don't have to set up a targeted traffic campaign if you're using, basically, we've got two vendors integrated into this thing as far as targeted traffic goes. One of them is fully automated, the other is not. I highly recommend that you stick with the fully automated one. The second vendor, it's been a long time since we've interfaced with their platform, and we did so in a fashion that well, let's just say it required some trickery. One of the systems, the better of the two, is a little bit more expensive, but they have a full-on API, and this interfaces with their system via the API. It's a lot more stable. The traffic is better quality. We tested that out, and it works great. The other system is cheaper. They don't have an API, and like I said, we had to go through a bit of trickery in order to interface this system with that, and you have to create the campaigns manually. You have to copy and paste data onto their system and their control panel to create the campaigns. We strongly encourage you to not use that system and use the one that's fully automated. So with that said, even though you see that we have two different traffic companies integrated into this system, we're basically telling you that stick with the one that has the fully integrated API. And as far as the other one, we cannot guarantee that the other one even still works in the system because we integrated a long time ago. There's a bit of trickery going on there, so I can't even promise you that system is even working with us. But the API system for for traffic provider A does indeed work 100%, and that's the one that we encourage you to use. So with that being said, because we are using the fully automated one, if you have any traffic orders that come in here, they're automatically set up, they're automatically fulfilled. They come in here, the customer launches the campaign in the reseller control panel, and then it'll automatically be deleted from your fulfillment monitor view. But you have some other orders, for example, let's say 1,000 Facebook likes that'll come in. You'll see that in the fulfillment monitor. There is no further action required from the customer, so it won't have a status indicator of like waiting on a customer. It'll be ready for you to fulfill. All you'd have to do is click on the fulfill link here. It would give you all the data for that order, and you just send it over to the vendor. I'm going to cover that in further detail. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place an order through the reseller website show you the process that the reseller goes through for fulfilling the order, and then I'll bring you back to the fulfillment monitor and show you how you would fulfill the order. So we're going to order a couple things, maybe some targeted traffic, maybe some Facebook fans, and I'll show you how that works. Moving right along, you have product management. This is where you control the pricing for all of the products that you see here on Einstein Marketing, as well as the Einstein reseller products that are sold via the reseller websites. So basically what you do is you create a generic profile here to where it says Einstein reseller default pricing. This is essentially whatever you set here. For example, targeted traffic, I have it set at $3.68 per thousand. Okay, so anytime a reseller goes through the sign up process, this profile will be inherited. This is the pricing that they will inherit. And if you want to go in and change the pricing later on for a specific reseller, you can do so. I've already showed you how to do that. Very easy to do. But this is the generic global profile that basically all resellers inherit when they sign up as a reseller. And you have complete control over that here. So scrolling on down, basically you see all the products here. And basically you can set different pricing on Einstein Marketing. The pricing on Einstein Marketing is controlled independently of the pricing that you're actually selling the products to, to your resellers. So what I strongly encourage you to do here is you have to be careful not to underprice your resellers. That's just bad business. If you're selling, a link pyramid, two-tier link pyramid for only, like right here I have it marked at $69.99. If you're selling that for $30, but you're still charging your reseller $70, resellers aren't going to be too cool with that. So you want to keep your pricing in line with obviously more than what your wholesale price is that you're offering the same product to your resellers. So you have complete control over all the pricing. It does the math for you, calculates what your profit margin is. Some of the products in here, I'll give you an example, like all the packages, like the starter pack, business pack, Einstein's Best. The cost is calculated automatically based on what your cost is for each individual product. So that's why you can control your pricing, how much you want to charge for it, but the cost is derived from your pricing, your cost on each individual product that is tied into each of those packages. Going to vendors, you can see here we have all the vendors and the products or services that are associated with each specific vendor. So, for example, this particular vendor handles all of the Facebook likes, Twitter followers, and that sort of thing. You can click on the edit button and you can actually add or remove different products to different resellers. So for example, if this particular vendor, in this particular case, this particular vendor actually supplies worldwide Facebook likes. If I wanted to assign the worldwide Facebook likes to a different vendor, I would just remove these products from this vendor. I would save the profile, and then I would go back to my vendors page and I would edit a different vendor, and I could add those products or services to a different vendor if I wanted to outsource it to a different vendor later on. So scrolling on down, you can see different products for different vendors, quite a few of them in here. And I will reveal, obviously, all of this information is readily accessible through the Einstein Marketing admin panel, but I will share with you all of these vendors. We don't want to give this information away on eBay because we've done a lot of research into finding the best pricing and for finding these vendors that provide these products at the best pricing possible. So we don't want to share that through the public. This will be only shared with the new owner of Einstein Marketing. Going to hosting affiliate links. So basically what this is when a reseller goes through the checkout process and they buy a reseller website, obviously, they need hosting. Okay, now they may already have a hosting account, but if they don't, you would like to push them over to a hosting partner through your affiliate link so you can make some extra money on the back end as a commission. As you can see here, I have several different hosting companies listed in here with affiliate URLs as well as the payout. So, and you can prioritize these. So the way that this works is, and you can actually check this out yourself, if you go through the reseller sign-up process, you'll notice that what happens is it'll actually ask you, it'll say, do you host with any of the following companies? And they'll check which ones they host with. And based on which ones they already host with, okay, we'll eliminate those, and we'll basically go through this priority list, and we'll basically push them to whichever hosting company that is highest up in the priority list that they don't already host with. Because obviously, if they already host with the company, you don't want to push them there because you're not going to get a commission on it because they're already a customer. You want to push them to a hosting company that they don't already host with so that you can get a commission. And so I have HostGator listed as priority number 1, $125 payout. Second one in line is Host Rocket. They pay $150. And you might be asking, well, how come you don't have the highest paying one as priority number 1? And the reason being is that all of these hosting companies, they have different stipulations on like how often they pay you out. HostGator, they pay you out I think every 30 days, whereas HostRocket, they hold your funds for 60 days. So we took a lot of information like that into account when deciding which ones to prioritize. So you're more than welcome to change this around any way that you like. If there's other hosting companies that you know of, you can add those in here as well. So obviously you will want to sign up as an affiliate to these and update all these affiliate links. Some of these I haven't even signed up as an affiliate to. As you can see, we haven't even, like iPower, Host ICANN, haven't even signed up as an affiliate on those. Even this one, web hosting pad. So you can update that at your own discretion. Subscriber sweepstakes, you probably have seen this on the. I'm going to go to the home page here for a second and scroll down. You'll see this weekly 50,000 direct visitors giveaway. Clicking on that. This is just a way that we wanted to use this to build a subscriber list. Basically, they put in their first name, last name, email address. It'll go out to MailChimp, iContact. Actually, we're using MailChimp on this. If my memory serves me correctly, that's the one that we integrated into this. So it would add it. It would go out to MailChimp, add them as a subscriber, and then the system would automatically randomly draw a name from that list and award them with some targeted traffic. So that's basically what it is. That's how that basically works. You can run the drawing frequency on a weekly basis, monthly, daily. You will need to supply your MailChimp mailing list ID, MailChimp API key. You can get that when signing up at MailChimp. And we currently have this obviously disabled because Einstein Marketing has been floating around out there, and we don't want to start giving away free traffic if we're not actually live with this thing. So we've actually just temporarily disabled it. So that's basically how that works. Global settings, this is where you control your login credentials for the traffic provider. The email campaign vendor balance, this is essentially when you create a balance, you'll have to deposit some money with the email provider, and then every time you fulfill an order for an email campaign, it'll automatically deduct that from the email campaign balance that you see here, so that you can keep track of, basically just keep track of how much money that you have with your vendor. There's currently no money there. We haven't deposited any money with the vendor, but we'll get into that more with the new owner. We don't want to reveal who the vendor is there, but we'll explain how all that works. Basically, you just deposit some money with the vendor, and every time you fulfill an order for the email campaign, it'll automatically deduct it. And that's basically in a nutshell. And you can check out the if you're curious as to see what the pricing is on that. You can check these screenshots for the wholesale pricing on that. Mail server, username, password, pretty much self-explanatory. We already have that set up for you. Internal account number. You'll never want to change this because there's a lot of stuff integrated into that. Website phone number. If you ever want to change the VRU or not the VRU, but the phone number that you see in the top right-hand corner here, you can do so right here. We will be providing you with this phone number as well, and the recording, everything that you if you want to go ahead and call that and listen to the VRU, you can. We will be providing that number and the VRU to you as well. That is included. We are also including all of these social media and stuff like that. If you scroll down here to the bottom, I'll try to get this in within view if I can. Let's see, yeah, we've got the Facebook and Twitter. These profiles will also be included, so you have complete control over that. And jumped around a lot here, and you also get the Twitter, okay, for Einstein Marketing. So that's all included. Basically, that's pretty much the Einstein administration panel in a nutshell. I know I went through it really, really quick, but you know, obviously, if you have any, I'll provide you with more formal training as a new owner. But I just wanted to go through it real quick to show you everything that's here. At this point in time, let's go ahead and create an order at the reseller website, and I'll basically walk you through the process there and how all that works. So I'm going to jump over to the boxer theme. This is the theme that I had created as a generic reseller, and you know, basically I'm just going to show you how this works. Let's just pretend I'm a customer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and place an order at the reseller website as a customer. I'm going to go to products. I'm going to order some targeted traffic. So I click on targeted traffic, and it'll take a minute for it to load here. Okay, so here's the targeted traffic video. And by the way, when the reseller uploads their logo to the reseller website, it automatically populates the video with that. So there is no video editing required here. Scrolling further on down, let's just buy 2,500 targeted visitors. I'll add that to the shopping cart. We'll do some generic categories here. Has a pop-up, no. Website URL, let's just send that to einsteinmarketing.net. Add to cart. All right, and I'm going to add another product to the cart. Let's add, let's see, let's go ahead and add some Facebook likes. Learn more. Let's add 1,000 Facebook likes. It's 49 bucks. Let's do business, social profile, Einstein Marketing. Just for testing purposes, I'll click on add to cart. Go on view cart. Okay, so we have a couple products here. We're ready for checkout. Click on proceed to checkout. Now, just to give you a heads up, typically the shopping cart, you know, normally I'm gonna put in Mary Jane here just so that we, as a generic name here. I have it set up to accept bank wire transfer as a payment method right now, just because obviously I don't want to have to actually pay. I'm going through this. I'm just putting in generic stuff here, folks, but basically, yeah, because I just want to demonstrate how this works. I don't actually want to have to whip out the credit card or actually make a payment in real life. So I enabled the ability to actually put in some to accept payments via wire transfer. And so here you see direct bank transfer. Normally this would be disabled. I mean, nobody really ever uses this, but these sites are built on WooCommerce, which is a WordPress plugin. So basically, you know, you have lots of different options to accept payments, but I enabled this just because it'll allow me to get through the front doors here without actually having to make a payment. So I'll click on place order. And so the order goes into the system. Here you can see the order history. I can go into my account, and remember, I'm signed on as a customer still. Okay, so I'm not in the admin area. I'm basically pretending like I'm a customer right now. You can see my order history. I can go to targeted traffic. I can actually launch the campaign here. Click on launch, and you know, confirm everything is right. Click on launch campaign, that sort of thing. I also ordered some social media marketing. So going down there, you can see the 1,000 worldwide Facebook likes. So I'm going to go ahead and log out of this, and now I'm going to log in as an admin. As let's just pretend I'm the reseller. I'm the owner of this business, and I need to fulfill those orders with you being the owner of Einstein Marketing. So I'm going to make a payment to you. This is how the process would work. Let's see if we can get all this in view here. I'm just going to bring this in a little bit on both sides. Okay, so I'm logged into the WordPress admin as the owner of this reseller website, and I'm going to go to WooCommerce orders. Okay, so here you can see the order I just placed, excuse me, by Mary Jane. Okay, here's all the generic information that I put in here. You'll see it's on hold. Normally, because most people just use PayPal, this would already be in a processing state. But because I did bank wire transfer, it'll go into on hold until you actually confirm the funds have hit your account, and then you can flag it as processing or being paid and that sort of thing. So let's just pretend that the customer actually paid via PayPal, and the order is here in WooCommerce, and it's already in a processing state. Okay, because that's typically how it would be. Now, as a reseller, I have to fulfill this order with you. Okay, as the owner of Einstein Marketing. As you can see here, I've got two buttons that are bright red, says fulfill orders. All the reseller has to do is click on one of these, and it'll go over to Einstein Marketing, and it'll import those orders and prompt the reseller to pay the wholesale amount that's due. So it's that easy. They don't have to send anything to you via email. They don't have to fill out forms, and it doesn't matter as to whether the reseller has 10 orders or 100 orders or just one order. The process is the same. So it's very, very convenient. Basically, we're one of the few resellers out there that actually has an API like this. So we feel that this right here would be a huge selling point to anybody that's looking at starting starting an internet marketing business by reselling products and services like this. It's super convenient. So that's basically how that works. Now, what I'm going to do real quick is obviously I'm not going to go ahead and pay the $20. I'm going to go to the database real quick. I'm just going to flag this order as being paid, and then we're going to jump back into the admin so that I'll walk you through the process of actually fulfilling the orders as the owner of Einstein Marketing. So give me just 1 second. All right, so here we are. I went ahead and flagged the order as being paid. You can see it in here now. We're inside the Einstein Marketing administration panel on the transactions page. You can see the new transaction here with the reseller domain boxer.myonlinemarketing.biz and the total amount that was paid, which was $20.19. Now, the reason that I had to do that is you're going to have resellers who are going to click on that fulfill orders button just to, if they have like 10 or 20 or 100 orders, they're going to click on it and they're going to just say, oh, okay, I owe, $300 or whatever. It does the math for them. They're not going to sit there and calculate, what they're going to pay or what they have to pay you. They're going to click on the fulfill orders button just to see what they owe you and not make a payment. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I guarantee it. So we took that into account, and for that reason, we do not display any transactions in here unless they have actually been paid for. So you won't see any kind of transaction that were not paid for, and that's why I had to go into the database and just flag it as being paid. So anyways, you can see the order in here, and you can click on the transaction ID. You can drill down. It'll show you 2,500 targeted visitors. Here's the worldwide Facebook likes, and you can see the order IDs here, which are basically the unique to the reseller. So let's go ahead and let's show you how to actually fulfill the orders. I'm going to go to the fulfillment monitor, and as you can see here, the 2,500 targeted visitors has the red background. Okay, so it's waiting on a customer, and the reason being is that the customer, if you recall, when I logged in as Mary Jane, I didn't launch the campaign. So it's waiting for the customer to launch the traffic campaign. They have to basically click on the launch button, confirm all their information is correct, or if they wish, they can make a last minute change, point the traffic to some other website, or they can even change the category, whatever they want to do, before finalizing that and actually launching that. The reason for that is sometimes people will want to make some changes to their website or their landing page, optimize it a little bit before launching their campaign. So there's, for various reasons, the campaigns don't launch automatically on the customer side. Okay, they only launch automatically on your side here within the admin. So once they've launched it, the red background will disappear. It'll be in the fulfillment monitor, but there's no action on your part necessary. It'll actually automatically launch itself. The traffic campaign will be launched through the traffic provider via the API, so you don't have to do anything. The worldwide Facebook likes, however, this is something that is not fulfilled automatically. This is a product that you will need to actually fulfill manually, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to click on Fulfill. Okay. And here we are with the order details for 1,000 worldwide Facebook likes. You can see the quantity ordered is 1, the profile type is business, and the social media URL is facebook.com/Einstein Marketing. So essentially what you'd want to do at this point is there's a couple different things you can do. For 1,000 worldwide Facebook likes, all you really need to do is inform the reseller's customer that the order has been completed. Okay, so after the likes have been established or what have you, you can simply leave this the way it is, and you can just push the text completed out to the reseller's customer's control panel. So when the customer logs in the reseller's website, they can go to the control panel, follow up on the status of the order, and it'll say completed. You can actually change that to whatever you like. If you want to type finished there or done, whatever you want, this text is pushed out to the reseller customer's control panel. However, there are some products that actually have reports, such as press release distributions or article distributions. Okay, the vendor will supply you with a report. It'll show all the websites where the articles were posted and that kind of thing. So in that context, you'd actually want to take the report, upload it to a file sharing site such as mediafire.com. That's why we put this here as an example. And then we would just grab the link for the customer to download that report, copy it, paste it in here, and push that out to the control panel instead. Okay. Now the reason we use mediafire.com is we don't want the reseller's customer to have to go back to Einstein Marketing, and you really don't want your resellers don't want their customers to be aware of the fact that they are just a reseller and that they can buy the same products and services through you. You don't really want to share that. Okay, so we used a public website like mediafire.com. There's a few others out there. You don't have to use Mediafire, but we just wanted a third-party website that's not tied to Einstein Marketing or the reseller for the purpose of sharing the reports. And so after regardless of which option you select here, after you've done that, you click on continue and it'll push it out to the reseller customer's control panel. It'll update it automatically. Now I want to point out to you the send to vendor button. What this does is, if you've established relationships with the vendors in such a fashion whereby such as, like, for example, I mentioned earlier, like the email marketing company, you deposit some money with them, and you can send the email orders over to them easily just by clicking on send to vendor, and it'll send the order over to them via email. They'll fulfill it, and that's it. End of story. You don't have to go to a website, fill out a form, or anything like that. If you've established that kind of relationship with your vendor, you can simply click on send to vendor, and it'll actually email this information to the vendor that you have set up on profile under vendors. Okay, if you recall, you can actually take specific products and you can assign those products to different vendors. So each vendor profile has, first name, last name, web address, email address, and phone number, a basic profile. Well, that email address you have in there, system just pulls from that, says, hey, let's just go ahead and send this order to the vendor via email. So they get all this information, they know it's from you, they'll fulfill it, and that's it. Unfortunately, we haven't established those kind of relationships with the vendors that we have in here. Obviously, the targeted traffic campaigns are fulfilled automatically. There's no need to click on send to vendor with that. You don't even do anything with the targeted traffic campaigns. Email marketing, we have established a relationship there, as well as with the process of actually setting up the reseller websites. You can actually click on send to vendor and actually send out all the information that's required for the person to actually set up the the reseller website. And in that context, there's some other things that you'll notice, like when you go to the fulfillment monitor, it'll actually have a status of waiting on customer until the customer actually supplies their hosting account information, because the vendor does need, their hosting account login information to set up the database and copy the files over and all that good stuff. So that's basically the way that the fulfillment monitor works. And once you fulfill these and you click on continue, it'll just remove it from the actual fulfillment monitor, as you can see, just like I just now did. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you how that works, and I think you have I know there's a lot of information to cover in such a short period of time, but I just wanted to show you how much work we've actually put into this platform. If you have any additional questions or concerns on anything, please don't hesitate to shoot us an email through eBay, and we'll be proactive in responding to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and happy bidding.